In an American prison, there was an outrageous rule. Whenever an inmate needed to use the bathroom, they had to tie a rope around their waist and shake a nearby branch. If the branch stopped moving, guards stationed at a distance would immediately raise their rifles and fire into the bushes. With their vision blocked, they relied solely on bullets to intimidate whoever was inside. One day, as usual, a guard kept firing shots toward the bushes, unaware of the inmate's sneaky plan. When the branch finally stopped moving, he sensed something was off and fired again without hesitation. But this time, no screams followed. Panicking, the guard rushed over, only to find a white rope tied to the branch, leading into the forest. The prisoner was long gone. He had even used a massive axe to break the shackles on his ankle. To avoid being tracked by the guard dog, he scattered pepper all over his path and left the area. Sure enough, when the police arrived with K9 units, the strong scent caused the dogs to sneeze uncontrollably, throwing them off the trail. At a barbed wire fence, the man kept hopping side to side along the boundary, mixing his scent all around. Even the most well-trained dogs couldn't pick up his trail. One dog got stuck in the wire and couldn't move forward or backward, rendering the entire K9 unit useless. When the guards returned to the prison, one of them was carrying a dog in his arm, and the warden was furious, holding a deep grudge in his heart. But what no one expected was that the very next day, a photo showed up in the prison. It was a picture of the escaped man, arms around two women. Not only did he not lay low, he boldly revealed his whereabouts. A week later, he was dragged back into prison. Instead of being punished, the inmates lifted him onto a table like a hero and treated him like a living legend. The next day, the guards decided to put him in his place. In front of everyone, they ordered him to dig a deep hole in the ground or face endless punishment. After a long struggle, he finally finished the task, only for another guard to show up with bad news. The second guard told him to fill the hole back up, claiming John had dug it without his permission, right in his territory. Exhausted, John spent another hour filling the pit. But just as he finished, the first guard returned and demanded to know where the hole was. When John stayed silent, the guard grabbed him by the neck and slammed him to the ground. The abuse went on until nightfall. John clutched the guard's leg and burst into tears, begging for forgiveness and saying he'd learned his lesson. The inmates watching were stunned. Their hero was broken, or so they thought. What they didn't realize was that this was all part of John's strategy to play weak. From that point on, he completely submitted to the guard. While doing forced labor, he acted like a pitiful nobody. But in truth, he was secretly planning something bigger. When no one was paying attention, he quietly moved around the prison truck. Then one day, when a guard asked him to grab a bottle of water from a truck, John climbed up like always. But this time, something changed. He suddenly jumped into the driver's seat, fired up the engine, and sped away. The guards immediately panicked. Another prisoner seized the moment and climbed into the truck as well. Just as they were vanishing from sight, the guards rushed to get chased, only to find that John had already removed the truck's keys.